Okay, everybody on YouTube. I'm trying to quit smoking weed. I'm only going to post this on YouTube because Facebook doesn't really take me seriously. Like, there's too many people that just are immature in the town of Merrill that don't treat me. Some people treat me seriously and do different things like that, but it's you know what I mean. I just want to put in the results because yesterday at 12 o'clock or something like that, I stopped. And then all day this morning, I haven't done anything, but just drank coffee. So tomorrow I'll be drinking coffee for a little bit in the morning, and then I'll run out. And I'll run out of coffee completely, so I'll have to stop drinking coffee too. But coffee helps me get motivated in the morning, and I could really feel the coffee buzz without that underlying weed buzz on top of it. So the coffee actually does a lot for me. Um, Dark roast coffee, but what I'm trying to say is that this is the orchestrament of having to do good in what I'm trying to do, and I got to remain diligent on my path to be doing it. So it's just a matter of time before. I mean, I went 4 days without smoking THC, okay? And after that, I felt kind of bored, and I always felt kind of lonely as a person. And I did this as a coping mechanism because when I went to Wausau, you know, I felt really good without weed or anything. I just felt good in a different town, a different energy, different place, you know what I mean? And I hanged out with the homeless, and I didn't feel like I needed it as much. But when I go back to Merrill and I have barely any friends, and a lot of people know about me, but I don't know about anybody else really because I don't nose around people's business. I just keep to myself and to do my own thing mostly. But I say hi to people and do this and that and have small conversations, stuff like this. And sometimes I have a long conversation with people, and it's all good. But what I'm trying to say is that, I can make podcasts when I'm sober, and I'm not completely sober from marijuana. It takes 30 days to get out of your system. So I don't know how long I'm going to quit for, but I'm going to try to quit for 7 days this time around. And then after I heard on YouTube from somebody that it takes 4 days to have the cannabinoid receptors turn to normal. Without smoking weed for 4 days, your cannabinoid receptors turn to normal after that, you know what I mean? So what I'm trying to say is that all I need to do is wait 4 days and see if I feel any better, and also keep myself busy, because I could be, having THC.A or whatever that is, and still feel lonely. I could still feel lonely even when I get high. Like, it doesn't subtract that missing category in my life. So I was using it as a coping mechanism that it wasn't fixing the problem. So I'm using it to stop feeling lonely, but it doesn't help with that side of it at all. And what I'm trying to say is that going out for walks and getting close to nature and doing things like that help me out, you know what I mean? But what I'm trying to say is that when I don't, am trapped inside my apartment, I feel stir crazy because I get restless because of the fluvenazine, and I have this habit of pacing my apartment and seeing the same walls and everything over and over and over, just doing that for like hours and hours. I start to go a little bit cuckoo. So it's day after day, you know what I mean? Of doing the same repetitious things that I need to change up. I need to change them things up, and I feel better then. Doing different things, like I haven't played guitar in a while. Maybe if I play guitar, I'll feel a little bit better. But what I'm trying to say is that, it wasn't, what's the problem is not marijuana. It's the loneliness is the problem. You know what I mean? And what I'm trying to say is that I just want to have natural dopamine highs in the brain where I don't have to just, when I feel like having fun and I smoke that bowl, it gives me that fun right away, and that gets me that sort of natural high from the high, you know what I mean? But what I'm trying to say is I get a natural high from my dopamine levels in the brain without the weed for 4 days or so on and so forth. I can laugh normally at things at random times when I feel the high in my brain that naturally goes through. But what I'm trying to say is I'm keeping my brain always at a high where it's not using so much of the calories and stuff like this in my brain. So I'm conserving it, and I'm not going to release all that, the cannabinoids into my brain to have this big party and everything. And then all of a sudden, when I crash from it, I feel like doing it again to get that big party again. But then there's a time where if I do it too much during the day, every day for a while, I can't get high anymore. And then that becomes a problem. And that problem creates more problems, because then I'm feeling low and not balanced out, because I should be balanced after 4 days without smoking marijuana. And what I'm trying to say is that I can make podcasts and talk, and I'm highly intellectual in my brain. Nothing's forgotten. I remember everything. I have a good memory, actually, even though that I do smoke THC.A. But without it, I'm a little bit more myself. Like, I don't want to have artificial happiness that is making me feel jovial and happy, because I got to go through this ground earth, the earthly feelings and emotions, because like when you go through hard times where you get angry, every time I can get angry on marijuana, but it's hardly ever because it's making you feel like happier, you know what I mean? But what I'm saying is that I go through my natural anger, but then the happy moments of when I have good pathways in the brain that are doing good things and I'm happy naturally, that would be good. I just noticed I have a little bit more anger without marijuana, but it's natural, and it's been suppressed because I've been using it for so much. That's how the anger comes out within me. I'm not angry for the time I stopped yesterday at noon, and today in the morning, all throughout the morning I haven't used, you know what I mean? But what I'm trying to say is that I'm trying to orchestrate not doing it so my brain can heal and feel natural emotions, and I got to face reality, the raw reality, for what it is. And they say that marijuana clouds your pineal gland, and that's why you can't remember your dreams at night. Well, I remembered my dreams. The one time I kind of cut down a little bit because I only had resin in my pipe. I cut down on it, but basically I got back, on track with the dream realm after I stopped. But what I'm trying to say is that I remember most of my dreams of what I was doing and stuff like that, and it wasn't like a high level dream, because my energetic body carries on in the dream realm. I swear some of my energy and good feelings and stuff like this, and the way I talk and everything, is related to the dream realm. Like, the information is shared with the dream realm. So I remember my dreams, and I get back the information that helps me out in this life, and then helps me out in the dream realm. This life helps me out in the dream realm with some of the things, because I was trying to write down a number because of publishing my book and getting a hold of people in my dreams like that. And that was because I was thinking about my book so much, and now I'm going to publish my book. So anyway, yeah, I just wanted to let you know that I'm doing good. It's just that I went 4 days before, and that wasn't too tough. But if I go 7 days naturally, see how I feel. Because every time I was without marijuana is either when I was in jail or Winnebago. And that was like a 3-month process without it. But I was craving it so much, and I wasn't ready to quit. It was like suffering. I was suffering, and I wasn't going through it the healthy way, the good way. But when I want to quit, and then I'm trying to quit, and I'm doing it the right way, it's not going to make me go crazy over wanting to do it. You know what I mean? Because I'm actually wanting to quit. And that's the difference. Because if you're not ready to quit yet, and you still want to do it like every day, then don't quit yet. But like eventually it gets to a certain stage where you have to know that something needs to give and happen. Because when you chase that high or whatever, it's not going to accumulate to anything when you don't have any more cannabinoid receptors. It fixes that for a while, but when it naturally goes down, you have no cannabinoid receptors left to intermingle with the receptors, or you have no cannabinoids left to intermingle with the receptors in your brain. So what I'm trying to say is that all these receptors would feel less stimulated because of when you crash from it. But what I'm saying is that when you stop doing it for 4 days, 7 days, it returns to normal balance. And I want to have a balance so that I don't have to feel low to get high again, because it kind of takes time out of my day. But I'm bored and lonely anyway, so I got to figure out what I'm going to do for the rest of the time that I have extra during the day to get through my day, which it's tough, but I'm thinking Wausau will help me out a lot. But anyway, it's getting to that point. Neil loves, worships, honors, and obeys the Divine Princess. And the Divine Princesses, I hope you're doing amazing. Divine Goddesses, I hope you're doing amazing. And yeah. All right. Over and out. I got to stop the video now because it's going over 12 minutes. All right. Bye.